Is it auto-focusing?
I go by the name
Hey, but are you... Oh, my bad.
Whenever you're ready, bro. This is the behind the lyrics video for my latest single.
Fuck, my bad.
I go by the name of Stevie Dub, and this is the behind the lyrics video for my latest single, Broke Up, produced by Contact the Producer.
Be in love, yeah. And then we broke up. I said we used to be in love, yeah. And then we broke up. I said we used to be in love.
Song starts off with the chorus. I said we used to be in love, and then we broke up. I said we used to be in love, and then we broke up. I said we used to be in love, and then I fucked it up. We used to be in love, and then she fucked it up. I said we used to be in love, and then we broke up. Basically, it just talks about we used to be together. Me and my ex used to be together, and she did some things, and I did some things, and we both fucked it up. Verse starts off, we started it off slow, neither of us in a rush. She was a host, then I would serve tables and bus. We met at a TGI Fridays in San Bernardino. She was a host, and I would serve tables, and I would bus. Then I say, let's back it up. Before there was even a thought about us, she had a man, I had a girl, both of us living in two separate worlds. Pretty self-explanatory. She had a boyfriend at the time, I had a girlfriend at the time. We were in two separate worlds, but we worked in the same place. Next line is, we all got along, they come to my shows, I even remember he spit me some flows, they wasn't that good, I still wished him well, but something was off, I could just tell between him and Britt. So, he was also a rapper, my ex-boyfriend was also a rapper, and he spit me some flows sometimes, and they weren't that good, but they used to come to my shows, which was really cool. So kudos to you for coming out to the shows and supporting me during that time.
Mr. Still Your Girl.
It's hilarious. But yeah, so then it goes, what do I know? I split up with Bree and I focused on shows, I focused on flows, they want to impose, you know how it goes. So I was with a girl at the time named Bree, and then we broke up, and then I was just working on my own stuff, I was focused on flows and shows. Like I said, I didn't want to impose, so I just kind of stayed back and did my thing. At the time, I was on my grind, I was on my time, I didn't want to share mine with no one else, I was focused on me and on my health. Literally was just in a position where I was like fresh off of like 2 crazy wild breakups. I know this is getting out of hand. And I was just focused on me, I was spending all my time doing what I wanted to do, I was grinding, and I just didn't have any time for, no relationship. I just was doing my own thing. And then I proceed to say, I wasn't getting along with chicks, needed all my karma fixed, didn't think that love exists, wasn't even trying to mix my feelings with another chick. No way, that's a bad choice. Once again, I went through a lot of crazy stuff in the past, and during that time, which was like 5 years ago, I was just not in a position to be even messing with another chick after what I had went through prior. No way, that's a bad choice. She had a thing for them bad boys, she had a thing for them black boys, and she had a thing for my rap boys. So I'm basically talking about my ex and how she had a thing for bad boys and black guys, which is what I am. I'm single. And she had a thing for, my rap boys. She was a fan of my music and whatnot. And then I proceed to say she broke up with Strange and we kicked it, depressed and fighting addiction. At first she was really restricted, and honestly I felt conflicted. She was going through some things, some personal struggles and personal battles at the time, and I didn't really want to impose on the situation, which is why I say I felt restricted. I say working and putting in OT, she would come chill with the whole team, she was like one of the homies, she never tried to control me. Feelings grew and we knew, but we didn't know what to do. I was still planning to move, and I didn't have room for two. So at the time I lived in San Bernardino, and I was moving to LA to continue to pursue my music career, and when I say I didn't have room for two, the place that I was moving into, I already had roommates, and I wasn't, trying to speed up a relationship that I was in or going into with her at that time, and saying like I had to go and still do what I needed to do for my music, and there was no room for two of us. I had to continue to go on and do what I had to do, and I did that. We just kept on getting closer. She never had proper closure, and I didn't want to expose her, so I kept inviting her over. So like I said, she was in a relationship in the past, I was in a relationship in the past. I knew that there was some closure issues in the past relationship that she was in, but I didn't want to expose that, so I just kept on hanging out with her and saying like, hey, you want to come over, come to the studio, chill, kick it, whatever, come over, I'm not really going to get my emotions involved in what you have going on, which is probably a mistake. And yeah, so like I said, we just continued to go. We started dating soon after, building and writing new chapters, lookouts and days full of laughter, then everything started moving faster. So we started dating, things started moving faster. And when I say lookouts and days full of laughter, it was because one of our things that we did was go to super nice lookouts in the San Bernardino or Redlands area, wherever we were, and we just look at a beautiful view of, you know, the Inland Empire or whatever. And that was like a thing that we would do, and days were filled with laughter because we were happy, and you know, there's a lot of great things that were going on during that time. Arguments started to brew. She acted like she was so true, but that was so far from the truth, flirting with so many dudes. Now, this is where things get really serious and really heated. And I'm not trying to point fingers because there's a lot of things that I messed up on in the relationship, but that line basically to me depicts the fact that in the beginning of our relationship, there's a lot of trust things that were, or trust conversations that were established between the two of us, and there was a lot of emphasis on her end that was put on trust, that was put on being honest with each other and being real, and then a lot of the things that were said weren't followed through with on her behalf. She did it right under my roof, she did it and I found the proof. She probably thought she was so smooth, but I followed every last move. Those lines are depicted off from me just having a hunch, like, you know, men and women have when they're in a relationship sometimes and they feel like somebody's doing some sideways shit to them, and I acted on that hunch. And one day, I decided that I wanted to go through her phone, and when I did that, I found some shit that I did not want to see. And I say, but still I was blinded and stunned after I should have been done. But I decided to give her a chance, way too caught up in romance, remembering days in the past, I should have been a better man. I should have stuck to the plan, but once again, I'm here again. This is the same shit that I got out. 2 years went by and I sought out attention from those I shouldn't. I'm gonna pause right there. So I decided to give her a chance because I was way too caught up in romance. And when I say remembering days in the past, I should have been a better man, it's because I've been in relationships in the past that I kind of spoke about before, where I wasn't the most honest or the most loyal man to other women. So for me, being in this relationship, I was thinking to myself, well, yes, I did catch her doing some things that she should not do, but maybe like others did for me, I should try to forgive her and continue to go on with this relationship. So I did that. And then, like I say, 2 years went by and I sought out attention from those I shouldn't, and tension would grow and it wouldn't get better, instead it got worse. My performance was slipping at work. I stopped attending events, started talking to women event. So this is where things start to shift in the relationship. I decided to stay in the relationship and work on things, and we did work on things, and things were great for a while, but I think that for me personally, there were certain demons and things that were still haunting me, old ways that started to kind of like, you know, creep back in, and I think that a lot of that stems off of the fact that I don't think that I was fully healed from my other relationships, and then I got into a relationship right away with her, and then basically we ended up, you know, just dealing with everything that we had to deal with in the beginning of our relationship. I had so many regrets and decisions I'll never forget, but now I just want to forget all the time and the energy spent on her in that whole situation, and all of the time that was wasted. We the true definition of miscommunication. So when I say I have so many regrets and decisions I'll never forget, I'm obviously talking about the lying, the cheating, and the things that I did to her while we were in a relationship, the arguments, the immaturity on my behalf, and just not being an honest, open, upfront person. And I feel like I've definitely learned a lot from that, and I've grown a lot, and it's helped me establish way better relationships, first and foremost with myself, with God, and with a lot of others around me, friends, women, any woman that comes along in my life now that wants to engage in any type of like emotional feelings or anything like that, there's something that's going to get established first, where I know that I'm not necessarily right now in a position to be, you know, with somebody. I'm working on myself. I'm definitely a work in progress, and that's 100% established right from the beginning. I've definitely said my piece with the situation, and it's not necessarily that I want to forget about the situation and her, because it's going to be a big part of my life forever, and those are certain things that you just can't forget. Being in a relationship and spending time with a human being is something that you just cannot ever forget. And, you know, we're the true definition of miscommunication, because I think that every relationship is built on communication. Whether you're in a relationship with, you know, your relationship with your parents, if you're a father or mother, your relationship with your child, and then in an intimate relationship, if you guys don't have solid communication where you guys are actually being upfront, straightforward, and vulnerable with each other and being honest and truthfully raw with each other, then there's going to be some issues. And that's what I feel like was the demise of our relationship on both ends. I don't think that the blame personally should get put on one or the other. But, you know, that's just my reality, and that's me speaking on my truth. So there you have it. That's the behind the lyrics from my latest single, Broke Up. Say I'll Tell All's dropping November 11th of 2018. I'm very excited for you guys to hear it. Until next time, it's been your boy Stevie Dub. Can't Stop Jay on the cam. And we out.
Love,
Watch your foot.
love. I said we used to be in love.